Peace, quick little think fast. Either you're really not trying to know or you're trying to get into a debate. Having now the vibe here, of course. I thought about, this vibe where I'm coming back into alignment with my, my soul more fully, as far as like tighten up in areas where I got loose and was starting to, allow for the alignment to go out of place, so to speak. But in that area of feeling like you gotta like over-explain things to people, in essence, I came across a source sent me through some information and some vibes where a person was like, hey, I say what I could say about it, I tell you research, still asking me to prove it to you, then like go fuck yourself in so many words. Of course I'm not telling that to you. But like, but in so many words, what I'm saying, it is like, again, either you want to debate, like you just feel like debating, or you're not really gonna accept the information. Cause like, how you tell somebody about something and they expect for you to explain the whole thing, and if you can't explain it all to them, like the fullness of it, then it gotta be fake just because you couldn't explain it to them, even though the information is true and exists in books, and you can tell them certain places to to find this information, even when you can't fully reference it all the way. When you speaking on something that you done did the inner gnosis or whatever type of work, research or whatever, and what's going on, you share it with somebody and they like, if it's like this, then explain this and that. It's like, bro, look, I gave you the gist of it. Either you go research it, or leave it alone, because I'm not about to fuss with you. And if I tell you something that's true, something that's beneficial for your soul, and you not trying to research it, then it goes without saying, that, again, either you trying to debate or you ain't even trying to enlighten yourself at all. Because again, nobody has to forcefully, and also that's, I done brought that up before, that's like a little lawyer tactic in essence, or like a little debating tactic. Like if I tell a person the information and it's like, if you can't explain it all to me, then that mean it's not true. Nah, it still could be true just because I don't, like, what I'm saying? It's like, for example, if I bring up something about heart coherence and neck entropy and, wave dielectrics and constructive wave interference, destructive wave interference, I'm not the necessary expert on it just yet, maybe. But if I speak on it, somebody will like, well, explain all of it, oh, well, shit, you can't explain it then, man, it ain't shit, I ain't even. Well, then guess what, again, it still exists regardless if I was able to explain it all to you or not. You know what I'm saying? Again, either you just feel like debating or you really don't want to know the truth. Because again, look at the times when we do want to know the truth. Somebody could barely hint at some information and we go and research it. We go and Google it, And matter of fact, it'll go to show like on a social level of like how people be all into the astrology of Hollywood. If you know what I mean by that. Again, like we're watching the stars, literally and figuratively speaking. But it's like, people, if I say a little something about so-and-so, oh, let me go research that. Let me go see if Kim Kardashian really did this. Let me go see if R. Kelly really did that. Let me go see if, Beyonce really had that baby. Let me go see if this, you know what I'm saying? But I bring up, or anybody bring up something to, anybody bring up something to help your soul, and it's like, nah, I don't really believe, you know what I'm saying? you gotta have like tons of evidence in my face in order for me to even believe, you know. And which, to a certain extent, you know, that is partially in essence why we make sure we do, you know, become so knowledgeable. And I say partially because part of becoming knowledgeable is just because we love it. You know what I'm saying? Most people who deal with knowledge on a certain level is because they love it. Like, nobody makes over like 500 videos on YouTube and barely seeing $100, you know, if that. You know, like, because basically I wasn't getting paid for a nice little while dealing with my YouTube channel, but I'm so passionate about, you know, learning and sharing what I learned that, you know, it didn't, you know, it didn't bother me that no revenue was coming in at the beginning, because I was doing, you know, I am doing what I love, you know. And that's the whole thing, you know. It's not necessarily, you know, learning information just so I could explain it to people, you know. It's learning for myself. And I done said that before. It's like some things I know on a level where I just know it for myself. Like I'm, you know, some things I'm not as adept with the information, or not as adept being able to break down the information for others, you know. And like that's the whole little vibe, you know. With sharing information is like, I think about, because I was watching a video of Benjamin's breaking down like the energy of light, you know, and basically talking about how Einstein didn't know shit about what he was doing, you know. In essence, I forgot what it was called, a photoelectric, I can't remember. Anyway, you know, just speaking on the vibes, you know. He busts down information. He was like, if you don't believe me, like, fuck it, you don't have to believe me. Like, the proof is in the pudding, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you know, I can't force you to believe nothing. You know, just like, and looking at ourselves upon our growth, you know, like, shit, you know, you can't really force nobody to learn, you know, to accept any information anyway. So, you know, you state what you do know, or what information, you know, you are aware of, and then you know, all you can do is fall back from there. You can't force nobody to, you know, deal with the information or acknowledge the truth in information, in essence, if they're not ready to, or they're not trying to, you know. Because another thing too is getting to that little cutthroat vibe, like like I use that analogy because I remember hearing a story about like Harriet Tubman having to, you know, leave people behind because they was second guessing, you know, or with the bullshit. So it's like, look, either you're coming, like, and matter of fact, it is a perfect example of stepping into the subconscious, like Bird Box, putting on that blindfold, and you got to step into that unknown in order to get to the promised land. You got to step into the unknown, and you got to ignore the fear, like. You know, because matter of fact, if I didn't say that in Bird Box, you know, that is another aspect to that movie, you know, which again, different movies and all that have so many layers to it anyway, but, you know, that was one of the layers of truth to Bird Box, in essence. That wasn't so much propaganda, was the fact that, you know, and I have spoke on this, like the ego is like a disease, you know, people. That's why I realized to not really look at the person themselves whenever like they may say something negative, or like if I bring up how Jesus is fake and they like, oh no, Jesus ain't this and that, you know, I know that in that moment that's their lower vibrational self, that's that energy of that fake Jesus, you know what I'm saying, trying to hold that person back, in essence, you know, and not necessarily the conscious or you know, soul of that person, in essence, but more so that energy that's trying to hold that person back is what's, you know, trying to stop a person from, you know, learning and get more insight. Just like an exorcist, you know, like if you go to talking truth around a person that's not ready to grow, they're gonna hurry, they're gonna change the subject, they're gonna do any and all things to not let you finish your statement, or to allow themselves to not hear your statement, you know, where they gotta walk in the other room or act like they're talking to the kids now. Like, bro, I done seen, like, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, is that real? Is it really like an exorcism? It's like when you go to speak in that high vibrational talk, them low vibrations not trying to hear it, you know? And again, you know, it's that everybody has that higher aspect, that soul within. But, you know, we also got those, you know, for lack of a better word, our little demons, our little lower vibrations. And especially when we're not aware that, you know, how energy moves and works, you know. And we piling up all kind of, you know, hindering ideals from external, you know, situations. But, you know, back to keep it simple, simple as possible. But, you know, just back to that vibe where, you know, again, I'm speaking truth. And that's why I was gonna say that Harriet Tubman vibe of like shit, you know. Again, like stepping into the unknown. Either you step into the unknown, you know, like say for Harriet ready to go, and one of the slaves like, well, I don't know. It's like, well, look, stay to this motherfucker, cause we ain't got time for you to be second guessing and da-da-da. Like, bro, we moving. You know what I'm saying? 1 second later, we gonna get snatched up. You know what I'm saying? From, you know, from that perspective, we get snatched up by the, you know, the slave owners or whatever the case may be. You know, but again, I'm speaking in that case of an analogy to, you know, people where you sharing information with them that may lead them to their freedom, but they're like, oh, well, I don't know, and this and that, you know, man. You know, I know water good for me, but man, I love them soap, man, you know. Bro, when I drink a soda, sometimes I even get a little spurt of energy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that little lower vibrational, you know, demon in so many words, you know, it's trying to hold that person down. So as you shedding that light, you know, depending on how strong of a stronghold that person got, you know, or how strong, how much of a stronghold that lower vibration has on that person, you know, that'll, you know, deem the level of how much they resistant to, you know, information that's helpful to them. But, you know, that's basically it. You know, again, these vibrations, you know, coming in strong. You know, even watching myself in my little dip in energy, you know. And again, but I have to acknowledge it to be able to fix it. You know, if I was sitting here in denial, like as if, again, like that's why, you know, it's important to not take these egotistical guru, I'm the master of all type of, you know, point of views in essence. I mean, to each his own on, you know, on a confidence level and how you know, how you speak on your confidence. Like some people like to say that they are, you know, a master teacher and that works for them or whatever the case may be. But, you know, just realizing, you know, again, for myself, that, you know, I'm on a constant growth. Always knew that, you know, I'm connected to all the information, but I, you know, I always knew that it was a constant growth, you know. Again, speaking for myself on my journey. But that's basically it, y'all. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.